Hi, welcome back. I hope that you had an amazing holiday break filled with relaxation and time with loved ones. Well, here we are in 2022, which I can barely believe. It seems like the last year just flew by. I personally love the start of a new year. I feel like it's a blank slate, a new beginning, just a chapter that's getting ready to be written, and it just really excites me. I'm really a starter type of person. I love that new beginning. And perhaps you're setting some New Year's resolutions for your year, setting some goals, maybe making a bucket list. Maybe you're like me and you like to write down a word of the year that sort of guides you along your way. Whichever way that you're going to be doing it, whatever goals that you have that you want to meet this year, today's video is all about tips that can help you start your year off in the right direction and give you momentum going forward. And I'm excited to announce this is a collaboration. The Mega Motivation collaboration is back for 2022. And today we are all talking about the topic of starting your new year fresh. And this is going to be an amazing, incredible playlist that you're going to want to check out. I will have it linked below in the description box. So after you watch this video, if you'd like a little more inspiration, go check out those other channels as well. Tip number 1, before you look forward, be sure to look back. I think that sometimes we get so excited to start something new that we completely forget about what we've been through, just face forward and focus on what it is that we want to achieve instead of thinking fully about what we've been through and what we can learn from what we've been through. And I'm definitely guilty of this. Like I said, I'm a starter. I love even just starting projects. And I don't always learn from my mistakes or even from my accomplishments. And so this year, I want to encourage you to be sure to look at the past year, look at the last 12 months, and think about what you have been through and what you can learn from the time that you spent. A few things you might want to ask yourself to kind of get in this mindset would be, what did I learn this past year that I can bring going forward? Did I have challenges? And if I did, how did I overcome them? Was I happy the last 12 months? And if not, why? What are a few things that I did well in the past 365 days? If you start your year off with positive reinforcement about the things that you've already accomplished and already succeeded through and the lessons that you've learned over the last 12 months, I believe that it will propel you forward. Tip number 2, take little steps. It is human nature to want to tackle all of our life problems all at once and just bust through the gates and get to it. But that is not wise. In fact, it's probably going to be harmful and will be very overwhelming and probably cause you to fail at your goals and resolutions. I would encourage you instead to just take little steps that are moving towards the right direction. If you have a goal, for example, to lose weight this year, instead of setting all sorts of strict boundaries on what you can and can't do, I'm going to eat salads for every single meal, I'm going to walk 5 miles every day, I'm going to XYZ. It's going to be too overwhelming. And so instead, just make a commitment to tackle a little bit progressively throughout the days, and as you get more encouraged by your results, you'll be encouraged probably to take on more. Remember, it doesn't have to be go big or go home. Sometimes it can just be go. Tip number 3, clear the clutter. Now, I know because this is a minimalism channel, probably most of you are expecting that I would make some reference to getting rid of some of your physical belongings. But I'm not just talking about the clutter that the physical world can bring you. I'm talking about all of the other clutter that might manifest itself in your life. Toxic relationships, jobs that you don't like, commitments that you've made that really feel like a huge burden. It's okay to say goodbye to some of the extra baggage in your life to make room for new opportunities. Those things that are weighing you down and not bringing you joy, they're not going to help you moving forward. I heard a quote recently that I really love and I want to share with you now. If you're brave enough to say goodbye, life will reward you with a new hello. And I think that's very profound because so many times we clutch to the things that we know and we kind of consider them to be safety nets or security blankets in some ways. But if we really think about them and acknowledge that they are a burden in our lives or something that brings us down, it's okay to say goodbye. And I encourage you to kind of do that soul searching on your own and decide, is there something that is maybe going to make it hard for you to reach your goals this year because it's a weight on your life? And if so, I give you permission to say goodbye. Tip number 4, listen. One of the best ways that we as humans can learn is by listening. And of course, we listen to mentors who are guiding us and teaching us, and we listen to valued friends and family whose opinions that we appreciate and trust. But I'm talking today about listening to yourself. And I think that gets lost sometimes. We aren't always sure to remember to do this because there's so much exterior noise that goes on in our lives. But we all have a conscience, we all have that, maybe you call it a gut feeling, or that still small voice inside you that is guiding you from right and wrong and really trying to show you your purpose. And I will guarantee 100% that at some point over the next 12 months, there are going to be times when doubt creeps in. You start feeling like you can't do something, that you're not strong enough, you're not good enough, you're not cut out for what you set out to do. And you really need to maybe listen carefully, but you really need to listen hard for the truth. You're going to have to distinguish between the fight that's going to go on in your head when those moments arise. And I encourage you, before you really fully set out on your goals, to sit down and write down some of those encouraging thoughts and some of those things that you've been listening to in your heart, the reasons why you are doing what you're doing. Write all of that down so that when those negative voices start popping up in your head, which again, I assure you that they will, that you can go back and read all of the positive reinforcement and positive affirmations that you had set out in front of you, and that will help get you back on the right track. Tip number 5, appreciate life. Above all, appreciate the life that you have, even if it isn't exactly what you expected or hoped that it would be. I think so many times we get concerned with improving our lives and making things better for ourselves and our families that we lose sight of the life that we are living currently, and we almost feel underwhelmed by it, or we feel like it's not of value. And I want to tell you that God put you on this planet for a purpose that only you can fulfill within the framework of your life. And so you matter, you're important, your life has value. And life is a journey that is meant to be appreciated with all its ups and downs and winding roads, and just really taking a step back and just looking at all the gifts that you've been given and just appreciating your life is so important. Don't let any New Year's resolution, New Year's goals, or ideals of a better life, quote unquote, get in the way of enjoying the life that you currently live. That's it, guys. That's 5 tips that I hope will encourage you on your year and give you some inspiration to tackle whatever it is that you're wanting to tackle and to take on in 2022. And I hope that these words were encouraging to you. If you like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. That will really help me out. And as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, be sure to check out the Mega Motivation playlist linked down below for tons more tips, inspiration, and ideas to start your year off right. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and I hope that you'll stop by the cottage again really soon.